Welcome to another episode of Victoria's Lounge from the Golden Tulip Hotel. So why are most men afraid of going to the doctors or shy away from talking matters health? Well, there is a group of guys called the Beard Gang who's trying to change the culture when it comes to men's health in the month of November, or Movember, where they're trying to grow out their beards or already have to raise awareness on prostate cancer. So let's meet them now and get the conversation started. Johnmark Ndungo is a financial analyst, but is also a cancer warrior and health freak. He is the co-founder of the Beard Festival, which is a male cancer awareness movement. Iganza Mudachi is a renewable energy enthusiast, a singer, and a photographer, and of course, minds his health. Sam Achola is a freelance software developer. Apart from tech business, he's very passionate about cancer awareness and healthy living, particularly with men. Dr. Nyamute is a medical doctor and a psychiatrist in training at the University of Nairobi. She's led and been involved in projects revolving around mental health awareness, carrying out trainings in Tanzania and Ghana. As always, hashtag Victoria's Lounge is how you can chime into the conversation on social media. You may be wondering, why are things so hairy around here? We're about to get into why. Movember. It's a month that some people know about and an initiative that some people know, but quite a few guys don't. So what is it all about? What is Movember all about? I'll start with you, Johnmark, since you've kind of initiated this whole thing.
Okay. So Movember, as you know, Movember is the month where we men don't shave. Like, it's a month where we don't shave our hair, any facial hair, we just grow it. But Movember started by a group of Australians. The reason why they were growing hair is to raise awareness on cancer. Because what do you lose most during cancer? You lose your hair. So it's the way of showing, let's grow our hair and shave it off after the Movember movement in solidarity with guys of cancer. So Movember is more initiated towards the cancer awareness.
So I see you guys are you're really developed in this area. I'm not seeing stubble, I'm seeing full-grown beard. So Sam, it's something you've been doing for some time?
Actually, mine started 2014 November. Yeah, that's when I did the first No Shave November.
Okay.
I started it more as tribute to my late dad. So that's when I heard about it, No Shave November, cancer awareness, that's when I got interested. So it's like, there's nothing, I can't build like a huge monument, let me just grow my beard as awareness.
So you've never cut it since then?
There has been some ups and downs before family accepts, friends, so... But it got, let's say, like I have a solid year where I haven't cut it.
Okay.
Yeah, but earlier it was a bit, you're not so sure how it looks, patches where, so it was a bit of a struggle at the first.
So it's a full-grown adult beard now.
Yes.
You can show it off.
Yeah, I can show it off.
For you, Anthony, you're also in that department. What caused you to grow your beard to this level?
I'm just a hairy guy. I wouldn't even lie. So I think for me, I tried different styles, or different designs, but it just wasn't working. I got tired of going to the barbers every other time for a fade or whatever it is. So one time I decided, you know what, I won't shave. So let's see how it plays out. Yeah. So yeah, it just grew and grew and grew. So
and it's been getting a lot of attention. I mean, do guys stop you and ask
a lot. So it gets a bit weird because you might just get a few people who really want to touch it. Then you're like, whoa, we don't know you like that.
Right.
But most people appreciate it.
Yeah,
It's a statement.
And of course, you know, Johnmark, you're saying it's a very serious issue, a serious cause to raise awareness on prostate cancer. Just take us through what some of the risks that men face.
As you said, prostate cancer. Most guys don't know about prostate cancer, and we associate prostate cancer with old people, because you normally get diagnosed with prostate when you're turning towards your 50s and 40s.
So you're more at risk when you're older.
Yeah, when you're older. But now with the way we're eating, genetics, being like if you do research, African men are more prone to prostate cancer as compared to the white and European people. So you can get prostate at any time.
Right.
Yeah, so it's becoming very serious. Anyone can get cancer at any time, and us men, we don't go for testings. We're really scared of going to the hospital get tested.
And why is that? especially for prostate. I mean, you hear a lot of guys say it's very invasive. You know, that's more diplomatic way of putting it. But I mean, most guys don't want to have to go through that. Are there other options?
Yeah, before, if I told any of my boys to go, any my parents, my granddad, let's go for a prostate test. The idea you're in a room, you and the doctor with some gloves telling you, take off your pants, you're about to do this. But things have changed. The new methods, like now they're using the PSA. The PSA is just a blood test. They take your blood test, check your the PSA levels. If you're under 4, you're okay. If you're above 4, you need to start changing your lifestyle and such. So methods of checking for cancer have really changed. Like new methods are coming up. So we don't have to be scared. But you know, guys are still scared of the needle. And we don't say it. But when we're talking behind us, hey, you saw that needle? Yeah, I was scared of it.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk on that, because just generally, not forget even the prostate cancer screening test, but generally men just shy away from health matters, shy away from the doctor's office. Why is that, Sam?
Maybe I can start with pride. But also, let's say guys are also scared. Because also nowadays, no one is really taking care of themselves. Guys are taking a lot of alcohol. The food that we eat, it's not very healthy. So guys are super sure. Like if I go something, I might get something.
Something will come up.
It might not be cancer, but maybe something may come up.
Yeah.
And then there's also the fact that not so many people are, let's say, it might be expensive to do it in some places. And not so many people take care of themselves. Not so many people want to pay for insurance. Not so many people want to. So it's a bit tricky area, but mostly it's just pride. As in, if you take that off, people will be walking in freely to the doctor.
I mean, so how do we demystify this whole thing of the doctor and needles and gloves? And how do we do that, Anthony?
First of all, I think people need to love themselves. You should love yourself so much to protect yourself, and part of this protection is, if you could be doing random or even scheduled visits to the doctor, whatever you'll get, probably it will be detected early enough for you to, sort it out, as opposed to you just waiting for you to get really sick, then you're admitted, then that's it. Right. You see, the cost factor in there is really high. Right. But generally, let's just change our lifestyles. There's so many options to so many other things. Because now, I think for me, drinking is the in thing. So the only way people can sit down and socialize is, hey, let me buy you a drink.
Right.
What happened to sports? What happened to excursions? What happened to these really crazy manly things that men are supposed
to do? Getting active and doing some rugged things.
So guys are not into that much, because you want to sit behind a desk. You want to do your stuff, you're on your computer the whole day, so probably you're not putting in any exercise. At this particular time, you have a car, so you get into the office or whatever space you're in, you're there the whole day. So the only breaks that you have is maybe your lunch break, and you come back. So at the end of the day, you're in your car, you're still seated. So when do you get to do all these things? So I guess it's a ripple effect. If you don't check yourself, something will check you.
Very true. I mean, Linda, you sit on the other side of this. People will come to you seeking help and guidance in terms of their health. How do we kind of break down that barrier that is keeping a lot of men from the doctor's office?
Okay, there's just generally a lot of stigmatization when it comes to very many health problems, especially with men, because men are idealized to be this masculine people who shouldn't feel pain, shouldn't cry, things
or show
like
any
that.
vulnerability or
So for them to actually take that step to go to the hospital, you find most of the times it's at a crisis, So I think there should be more awareness. They need to understand that at the end of the day, if you have the disease, you have it. If it's not addressed early enough, we'll later be dealing with complications as compared to dealing with the disease early enough, which can basically spare you from very many complications that will come with it.
I mean, speaking of preventative measures, food, what you eat. Do men diet, by the way? I always feel like that's just like a girl's thing. Women just diet. Do men actually diet and watch what they eat? I'm watching my figure or my waistline. You wouldn't use those terms, of course not. But
most guys are looking for physical bodies. To get these physical bodies, you need to eat meat, eggs, and such and such.
Right.
So you wouldn't tell a guy, go diet, and you tell him, go lose weight and look skinny. Like, you look unattractive.
So what do you mean? Yeah. You're looking for weight to actually gain the weight. But you have to also have like a balanced diet, So do guys actually think about that? Or is it maybe pressure from your significant other saying, hey, put more greens on the plate,
I think when you say put more greens, that's balance for us.
Like, that's balance.
Ugali, nyama, greens, carrots. Okay.
In the
see something green diet, balance.
Right, diet. That's good enough.
Yeah. But only I think guys only it gets to a point where guys diet. I think see like something like diabetes. It's how can I put it? Is it hereditary? Like it can be passed on to the next person.
Right.
So unless you've seen someone like your parents suffer from this, that's when actually guys are like, you know what, I need to start taking care of myself. Like that's my personal demon, As in, I'm like, if I don't eat well, I know at some point at 40 it will hit me really bad.
Right.
So, guys, for some people, it's when they're sure it might come at some point. That's when they take care of themselves. But that now comes to awareness, when you're actually aware these things can happen to you.
Exactly.
But other than that, guys will just eat anything.
I really wonder, because you see, guys tend to put a lot more effort in their cars. If they took their bodies for the servicing that they did for their cars, you can only imagine what that would mean for you physically.
I think we'd live forever.
But I think guys, we're all doctors. We self-medicate. Because I tell Anthony, I have a cold, he'll tell me, just drink this and this and that.
Right.
Like I've had weird remedies, whiskey and this and that, kills your stomach.
Right.
Like there's remedies for everything. And at the same time, maybe we're just harming ourselves, we're making it worse. But since we're guys, we don't want to go to the hospital. He gave me a bright idea and it's cheaper. Why would I pay insurance? And anytime, any solution Anthony gives me works.
Never went to med school, doesn't matter, that's my boy. He knows better.
It's actually cheaper to get new rims on your car and a new set of tires, which would cost you an arm and a leg, as opposed to just getting an awesome medical plan. Which is probably a fraction of that. But hey, it's a medical plan. People don't see those plans, but people will see those rims.
Right.
It's a cool thing. I mean, I'm just cruising and,
Right. But see, now investing in your health will have you actually enjoy that car much longer.
That's the thing.
So I guess if we see our bodies like our cars, men, maybe we'll do a lot better. On that note, let's take a short break here in Victoria's Lounge. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're watching Victoria's Lounge, still here with the Beard Gang. During the break, it was funny. Anthony, you brought up something very interesting about guys more concerned about their appearance. And that the pot belly is no longer in.
It's not fashionable. It's not a sign of wealth anymore. So
It's not cool anymore.
It's not cool anymore.
We've got so many fashion houses now. And your standard Monday to Friday kind of thing in the creative world would be a really cool t-shirt, a nice pair of jeans, and a really cool, pair of canvases. So you want to fit in that and, look the part. I'm a creative, so,
I'm noticing suits are now becoming a bit more
slimmer.
Exactly.
Slim fits.
Yes.
So there's no way you can fit into that if you have a belly. There's a problem.
Slim, being the operative word there.
So it's a slim fit. So the shots are getting all, to just really accentuate your frame. I mean, it's a selling point.
That is hilarious. Accentuate, for women it's always like our figure, the dress, and now men are thinking about their frames. I never thought we'd get to that point.
It's crazy, but it's there. I mean, the chest needs to be seen, the back,
I'm noticing
and everything.
shirts are much tighter now,
so it's...
So guys are hitting the gym now more.
Oh yeah, a lot. And supplements, guys are just popping supplements left, right, center because you want really quick results. So the dieting bit that we were talking about, maybe not consciously, but subconsciously.
More for cosmetic
so now you're
reasons.
thinking, I need to reduce on my junk. Let me try and eat more greens just to get that body on stuff like that.
So what would you call that diet? The slim fit diet, or what do we call that?
It could be a ghost diet or something.
Fashion diet.
Fashion diet,
Wow. I mean, now let's go to the whole thing of since image is important, skincare, okay? Do guys actually think about that? Do they use cleanser and moisturizer? Do they exfoliate like us ladies? Sam, let me go to you since you kind of really left that one off.
Honestly, like so many guys, I'm sure so many guys don't do this, but like the first time I got like a facial is when I got a haircut at a really high-end barbershop in the CBD. The chick was washing my hair. I was like, you know what, your skin looks kind of funny. You need a scrub.
Wow.
Like, what is that? So eventually I got one, and immediately I got like really positive feedback, you know.
So question is, did you continue with the
only like once in a while, you know. Okay. After you've gotten some sunburns and stuff.
Yeah. Like men don't really see the value in skincare.
Not
really. Until your significant other says, hey, probably need to take care of that situation.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a bit ashy.
But as I said, we have remedies for everything. You just put avocado once, twice, and you're good. Yeah.
No, exactly. Let's talk about something now, shift gears a bit, that is plaguing men. And it's kind of like a silent epidemic, if you will, mental health. A lot of men are depressed, you know, and we would not know because they will not vocalize what they are going through. And just men usually are socialized to hold it in. You're not emotional. You don't wear your emotions on your sleeve. So you need to kind of man up, be macho, and never show anything is going on. So, I mean, Sam, from your experience or just friends you've interacted with, what's the case when it comes to mental health among men?
When it comes to mental health, for men, it's really hard to tell. It's very, very hard to tell because someone might be struggling with something, and as men, you know, we are programmed to swallow our problems, you know, and unless you have a really good friend who really knows you, and which is very, very rare, you know. Because it's very hard for even someone to tell you, hey, guy, there's a difference, you need to see someone. And also, we don't have, as in, people don't know, as in, at what point are you depressed, you know? Because guys are confusing these things. Guys are like, it's just stress. It's just, you know.
Which is just as bad, but yeah.
And for so many guys, guys might think it's just money problems. You'll get over it, you know. But it's really hard. Families don't really talk about these things. We don't know, you just hear these things, you know. You hear them on TV, depression, as in you've never really met someone who's actually suffering that much from it. So, and in my background as a creative, you see so many people, they're just going in silence, you know. It's very hard. Until something really major happens, that's when the society now reacts. They're like, this thing is actually happening.
And by major, you mean maybe suicide?
Suicide, So until we get to that point where after someone has committed suicide, that's when we talk about it, 2-3 weeks, and then that's it.
You know, and Anthony, Sam mentioned something really important. He said, unless you have a friend who knows you really well, and that's still very rare. I mean, are friendships among men superficial? It's more social, we're going out. You don't really kind of go deep and talk about issues.
That's true, because, I mean, look at us men. We've been programmed to be this super human beings from a very tender age. I mean, you fall down, you graze your leg, it's painful, you want to cry, but your mom will tell you, why are you crying? I mean, that's the only reason why you would want to cry when you're feeling pain. But now, you're all grown up. There's so much pressure for you to become this person, for you to portray yourself as, you know, this guy. But at times you just don't want to do that. I mean, you just want to chill. Let me first of all just understand what's going on. And the society doesn't allow you to do so. So you try and tell this to your friend, and probably you'll be told, "Uko kaumama," you know. So you just don't want to be labeled.
That's major shade on the women, but anyway.
I know, but it's there. Sorry, as in no offense to women whatsoever. But that's the perception, as in just man up. I mean, if it's money issues, I mean, do stuff. You'll get out of it. But at times you just want to talk and just go like, you know what, I don't want to be under this covering. Let me just break down for a minute. And once I do that, I'll be okay. I'll be able to face what I'm facing more confidently. So we don't have forums for that, unfortunately. So what do? You just die with your problems. It's a ripple effect. You'll start now maybe moving away from people, staying by yourself. Those who drink will drink, those who smoke will smoke. So you'll just try and find an exit, but it's not the correct way of doing it. You know, so we're just there.
And Linda, let me bring you in on this one, because as a psychiatrist, and Anthony said, there's no forums, there's no safe space, if you will, where men can actually come out and talk about what they're going through. How do we actually create those kinds of spaces for men?
Okay, I think, as they had pointed out, the first important step when it comes to dealing with depression is a good supportive network. You need to have people who understand you, understand that this is actually something that a disease and needs to be addressed the same way that we do address hypertension or diabetes. So the first step is to have a good support network. We also need to demystify this perception we have about mental illness, depression being one of it. And then many men will hide substance abuse. So they tend to drink until it gets out of hand, and then now we come up with something totally new, and all this had stemmed off from depression, which should have been sorted out in the first place. What they're doing is quite a good initiative. It's simpler for me to relate to a lady when she says, this is what I'm facing. So it's much better when the men are actually the ones coming out to say, this is depression, this is probably someone who's faced depression, this is what I went through, and this is how I came out of it, and these are the challenges I faced, and this is how I'm dealing with it.
Being honest about what they've gone through. But sometimes you find men don't even know they're depressed. And then once they do find out, to even get them to admit, because I remember before we even started the show, Anthony, you were talking about how some don't even want to think about what's going to happen after. Am I going to be taken to Madare? You're thinking about the worst of the worst. So how do we break down those kind of fears and phobia?
I think for us, the more open we are about such cases, and we give real life examples, that what, so and so was depressed or is depressed, but there's something that's being done. So you have a real example, as in it's a living example. It's not somebody who's really far away from you that you cannot be able to relate. That person will serve as an example, and we'll be able to break down that stigma that, hey, he's a man, he's going through this, he's coming out, he's fine. So what are you doing about it? I'm doing X, Y, Z. So you'll find that other people will start now coming out and going like, what, at one point I felt like this, but I did this, it wasn't the right thing to do, but hey, I'm glad that you guys are talking about this. So let's have those real examples, coming out, and not coming out and expecting the world to accept them, because it won't accept them. The world won't definitely embrace them, but they just need to keep on pushing. Let them be those examples.
All right, so sensitizing those around us and just socializing ourselves a bit differently. On that note, let's take a short break here on Victoria's Lounge. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're watching Victoria's Lounge. The Beard Festival that's coming up. Johnmark. So you've started up this whole initiative. Just take us through why.
So on the 19th of November, we're having a beard festival. So we're a group of guys who are sitting. We all have beards. We're the Beard Gang Kenya.
The Beard Gang,
Kenya. So we're sitting, and we're of course talking about November and why we're having Movember. And the idea that comes to mind is because of cancer awareness. And we're here talking, guys don't get screened. Like, we don't even go to hospitals. Like, I spend more time at the chemist buying over-counter drugs than going to a hospital. So like, let's do a festival where guys can come, create an inclusive environment, have fun, whatever, spend time listening to good music. But at the end of it, we're having an area where guys can get screened. So the Beard Festival is happening on the 19th at the Arboretum. And we'll have DJs, awesome DJs, Cream de la Cream, UV, and a few other DJs and awesome MCs But at the event, also having a group of doctors coming to screen people,
Okay.
educate them about cancer, blood sugar, normal, just mental health. Also, we'll try and get someone on mental health.
Right.
Just basically sensitize guys on, we need to take care of ourselves.
And how many men are you looking to
We're
screen on
looking
that
to
day?
screen 500 men.
500
We're hoping
men.
to screen 500 men.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's certainly a setting that men would not shy away from. I mean,
Yeah, because we're thinking we'll also have like a pool area, like a play game area, but now behind it, the screening area. Because you don't want to be seen walking into the tent being screened. Yeah, like afterwards, guys are like, what were the results? Yeah, so we want you go play pool, then when no one is looking, go get screened and come out.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So we're just creating a perfect environment where you don't have to feel afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah, then our end game is to make it cool. Like
Yeah.
Jana was at hospital and becomes a cool thing. Not Jana was at the club or
Right,
yeah.
right.
Let's make it going to the hospital a cool
And
thought.
will you also be judging the beards?
Yes.
So pressure is on for guys to really. Do they get what happens? Do they
Yeah,
get
we'll have like a beard competition. Then afterwards we'll give you beard care products. Because not many people know
They're
having a
actually
beard.
care.
The world is changing.
It is.
Because before me and Sam got here, I'm also getting there.
Yeah.
It took us a while. I had patches, like hair was growing this side not growing. So
Do you actually take supplements to fill out the beard? Like, how does this work?
you just put cocoa butter, shea butter. It's a process.
Okay, wait. So this is where the skincare comes in. It's hair care.
It's hair care.
Oh.
It's mass.
So I'm wondering, Anthony, will the beards now give compared to the cars? Will that actually will that ever happen?
Think of it as an extension.
Oh, okay.
It's just your
Like a
personality
placard.
being
Yeah.
extended.
It's an accessory. Right?
But the cool thing about it is, when I was told about this, I was more concerned and more jazzed about the conversations, because I'm thinking after this, if somebody sees you with a beard, the first thing that comes to mind is, oh, I mean, November is over, or rather November is over. How come you're still wearing a beard?
Right.
So, but with them, they'll almost immediately connect it with, prostate cancer awareness and stuff like that. So it's a really good silent statement.
Yeah.
That now, even if you're not growing a beard because of religious purposes,
Yes, yeah.
but the assumption would be that guy has a beard, so he supports this cause. So slowly by slowly, people will get to know this, and we'll play our own small part in
Yeah. Exactly.
the awareness. So yeah.
And also, I think one of the major inspiration was, you see, like most of us, it's expensive to shave, right?
Oh yeah.
And
It's motivation. Save some money. Yeah.
you save some money, but also our end game was that money that you save. As in, it's really expensive to treat cancer at a very late
Yeah.
stage in Kenya. And if you go to all these crowdfunding websites, you'll see so many people are trying to raise funds, and they're not even hitting half their targets. So we'd like us guys now, whoever will be joining the beard gang, whoever wants to join us, grow their beard, just save that money, donate it somewhere,
Awesome.
and come up
But
with
the
a kit.
event is not only for us guys.
Yeah.
Anyone can come for the
The
event.
ladies can come too.
Yeah, of course, we want many ladies at the
Come
event.
and buy the beard.
We'll have fake beards for guys who can grow beards.
Oh,
At least
nice.
Give your day to feel money.
So you can
Be part of the
stroke it.
beard gang for one day.
Just for
Yeah.
one day.
Be part of it, yeah. And also encourage guys to
But we're charging. The reason so many people have asked me why are we charging entrance at the event?
Yeah.
Because one, we're catering for because getting screened is very expensive
Yeah.
here in Kenya. It's about 8,000
Wow.
to get screened. So we're asking you for 1,000 or 1,500, and you're getting the full checkup. Plus the money also goes to a few foundations after that, especially 10365. It's a male cancer awareness foundation. Like the main aim of the foundation is to stop the stigma of guys getting scared about screen. Like we don't want any more deaths due to late awareness.
Right.
We want to push it out there. Go get screened. Yeah.
Great, great. I think it's the perfect place to end this segment. But for the guys who will be growing their beards in Movember, like we said, it needs to look good, right? To start up that conversation. You shouldn't be looking like you just walked off the street with. We don't need to know what you ate for breakfast. So we actually have a barber who's going to take us through some grooming tips and what products to use for your beard. Take a look at this. All right, so we're here with Zaki. He's a barber from Brooklyn, New York. So Zaki, I see a lot of things here, and you're about to take us through a demonstration of how to groom the beard?
Yes.
Okay, so how do we kind of get started? Do you have to first like wash every day, shampoo? What do you have to kind of get started with?
So one of the things with the beard is like the hair on the beard is just totally different from the hair on your head.
Right.
And so a lot of brothers usually have an issue with the texture and it being brittle and hard and breaking off. And so one of the things that I do suggest is that you do shampoo and that you condition, which is most important, hydrating the beard and using a leave-in conditioner, oiling it the same way you would treat your scalp.
Right.
You do the same thing to your beard.
So how often would you do that?
You can put a leave-in conditioner every day. Just clean it, put it in every day.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So how do we get started with all?
Yeah, so I'm gonna clip his beard up a little bit just with the scissors. I'm not gonna take anything down because he wants to grow it as well. Also, it's good to use products for those who are interested in growing their beard out. They're gonna use products that promote growth and strength.
Okay.
And to stimulate the follicle as well. And so so I'm just gonna basically line his beard up. I'm gonna clip it up, make it look nice and neat.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna add a little magic to it to give it some serious definition.
Okay, so it is Movember. Are there any beard trends out there that guys are kind of getting into?
Beards are it's a popular thing now. You see beards everywhere, so without it being November. There are individuals who grow their beards specifically for November around it being Men's Health Awareness Month, at least in the States. That's how it is, but it's just also just a trend now. Everyone's growing their beard and then keeping it. I've had my beard for about 15 years.
So why do you think it's becoming like an in thing now?
Quite a few things. I know one of the bigger influences, one of the main influences that I've seen is hip hop music, and seeing other like artists.
Yeah, Rick Ross.
Well, Freeway actually had the beard first, right? And Freeway kept his beard because he's Muslim, right?
So religious kind of.
Right, for religious reasons, and that is a culture in Philadelphia in itself, whether you're Muslim or not.
Right.
The beard, if you went to Philly, everyone would probably look like me in Philly. And so a lot of those trends have become as a result of the hip hop world and also some influence of in Islam as well.
Yeah.
So
your barbershop is called Miracles.
Miracles, yep.
Why is that?
You'll see.
So we're gonna see some miracle happening here.
You're gonna see some you're gonna see some miracles going on.
Okay,
no
all
doubt.
right. So I'll leave you to it, and we can see the product after on our model Emeka.
Yeah, no
all
doubt.
Right, go ahead.
Definitely.
All right, so this is now the finished product. I get it now.
Right.
This is why you call it miracles.
This is why we call it miracles.
So what did you do?
Basically just, I gave him a simple, just cleaned him up, just made sure I highlighted because he wanted to keep it full. And sometimes men have a problem with keeping a full beard groomed and looking kept and neatly. Right. And so one of the ways, of course, of making it look neat is to mark it, to clean all of the excess and to highlight the line. And so I added a little bit of a color because there's some spaces that was sort of uneven, just kind of didn't grow. And so the line is just sort of to fill it in.
Okay.
And to give it a little more definition, and then just ran the scissors over it just to clip some of the loose ends because, like I said, he wanted to keep it heavy.
Right.
Just clip the loose ends, and that's basically it.
So for a guy who's trying to, he probably has like a patchy beard, it's not full as he wants it to be.
Right.
What can he do?
I would recommend that he continue to grow it. Don't cut it at all. To continue to line it.
Okay.
And products, definitely products. Groom it. Use the conditioners. Use the leave-in conditioners. Do a treatment.
Okay.
Put different oils and things of that nature. One of the products that I do have is Jamaican castor oil, which is very good for growth.
Okay.
It's also good for strengthening hair.
Right.
As well. So that's what I would suggest that person do.
And what about like diet? Is there anything that they need to kind of eat to kind of get the hair fuller and growing?
I would always, me personally, I would always recommend men diet. But sometimes just the growth of your beard, it just sometimes just has nothing to do with diet. Right. It just has all to do with, it just could be a hereditary thing that your beard just don't grow. And that's possible as well. If I was to promote for a person to take for hair, skin, and nails is aloe vera.
Okay.
That's another a thing that they can use as well. So.
Cool. So what advice would you have for the brothers out there who are trying to grow out their beards this month and I guess moving forward?
Yeah, keep the beards alive.
and this is personal for you too, because you had your own bout with cancer.
Yes, definitely. As a barber, coming up in Brooklyn at the age of 42, I found out that I was diagnosed with prostate cancer after my 2 months after my father passed from colon cancer.
Wow.
And so as a result of him passing, I went to the doctor and said, hey, and it wasn't that I had an unhealthy lifestyle, or even that I could say a healthy lifestyle, but and I went in and they said, hey, you actually have prostate cancer. And so it sparked a movement for me around saying, hey, wait a minute, I thought cancer had a face.
Right.
I thought cancer had an age, right? And that age or face didn't look like me. And so now it became, no, it looks like you.
Right.
And so I began to start communicating with a lot of my clients, a lot of friends that are around my age or even younger, and say, hey, when was the last time you've been to the doctor? And I just say that that we be diligent because this is a disease that we don't have to die from. The reality is that men of color, we get this at a much early age, and it's more aggressive in us, right? And a lot of it has to do with our diet.
Wow.
It has to do with our diet.
Yeah.
A lot of fried foods, a lot of red meat, white sugar, white flour, rice.
So all contributing
high
factors.
Fructose corn syrup, processed foods, bacons, and all of these different fast food things. And these are the things that contribute to it. And a lot of times, we go sometimes symptoms free. And sometimes if we do have symptoms, as men, a lot of times we ignore it. Oh, listen, if I don't have to go to the ER, if I don't have to go to the ER, I'm fine, right? What am I going to the doctor for? I'm not sick. If you're sick, it's too late.
Right. So a lot of knowledge definitely coming out of here. Thank you so much, Zaki
and
Emeka. And gentlemen, be alert. Know your status so you don't have to die unnecessarily. And of course, do it while looking good. We have the tips here from Zaki. Much more ahead on Victoria's Lounge. Okay, guys, so grow those mustaches and beards like your life depended on it, because it does. And remember, the Beard Festival is coming up this week. Make sure you are there at Arboretum. Thanks for watching. I'm Victoria Rubadiri. Thank you to the Golden Tulip Hotel for hosting us. Let's do this again next week. Have a wonderful evening.
One. When you go blind, like yes,
So what else is important?
I keep telling you, no, this way.